Greetings to you. I'm Elijah Muhammad, the preacher of freedom, justice, and equality to my people, the original black nation of the earth that has been lost from their on for the past 400 years here in the Western Hemisphere, in the United States of North America. I would like, since there is so many questions coming up concerning Elijah Muhammad and his followers and the teachings that he's teaching to the so-called American Negro, the lost and found members of the original black nation of the earth. Know for true, since that the election of a ruler for the people of America for the next 4 years is now being searched for. The election called the national election, where two parties and two men run for that particular office, the greatest and the most honorable office of the land, the President of the United States of America. The time and this day that this particular election is now taking place, the poor so-called American Negro stands almost confused over who he should choose to be his ruler for the next 4 years. He has been disappointed ever since the first president, George Washington, in trying to get equal justice, having equal opportunity, and being recognized as an equal human being among the human family of the earth. He today now faces the most crucial of his history in America. These are the most, I repeat, the crucial days and time of the so-called American Negro. The whole nation is all confused. The nations of the earth is confused and is angry with each other. The time of trying to build and carry out with strength and force the ideal aims of the American people and its government upon her national citizens and others throughout the earth that is dependent in some way or another on the help of America. Yet stands 22 million people. That is all but slaves of the first denomination. Pardon me, the denominator. They have been here suffering, pleading for justice every 4 years and 8 years or as long as there is another election. For the past 100 years of their so-called freedom from servitude to slave. These poor people today is in a critical time and at one of the most critical periods of their history in the Western Hemisphere. They're at the crossroads where that they must decide for self and for the future of their children, their nation, be completely blotted out as a people among people that is worthy to be recognized as an equal human being. I declare to you, and upon me from the most sincerity of my heart, that you, my people, should be the most careful of all people on the earth in passing your decision today in America. In this election and for the future of your own people. You're not at the decision or to make a decision on the future of your people under the repeated almost changes of government in America between the two parties, Republic and Democrat, every 4 years. But you have arrived at the crossroads to decide not only for temporary future condition under the American government, but you at the time where that you must now try and come to a decision on whether or not that you will remain forever a subject to the same people that your father were brought into subjection 400 years ago, or whether or not that you will vote firmly among yourself for a better future for yourself and for your nation, your children, on whether or not that we shall turn to our own, do something for our own self, turn to our own kind, turn to our own God, turn to our own religion, seek some of this faith that we can build a future of peace, freedom, justice, and equality among ourselves, as other nations have done. And history shows they have been successful in doing these things for themselves. I said to you again and again, it is high time that we get together and try to carve out a future for self instead of continuously pleading, begging for our slave masters' children to provide a future for us. Every president from Washington today has disappointed us in giving to us equal justice, equal protection under their law, in which we was born under and have continued to be born under for the last 400 years. For the last 100 years of so-called freedom for us from the white man's domination. We have not exercised that freedom and have not been absolutely free. We, the leaders and teachers of our people today, should remember these things, that for 100 long years we have been disappointed. At every election, I should say every national election of the land, we today are still not only asking for just civil rights, but first we are trying to get us as a people to be recognized under this call human rights, which means to recognize us as equal human beings along with other human beings of the earth. This has not been granted us. Not to say a national civil right, which is confined only in the territory of North America. If granted, and then, if such a granted, in which they have tentatively said that they have granted, it is of that kind of civil rights that is in part. We don't have 100% equal chance, equal recognition under this bill. So I say to you, leaders and teachers of my people, we are far off from being equal in our beliefs and thinkings, far apart. Since we are far apart in our equal thinking and beliefs of a better future for our people, we should unite, come together, discuss our differences, and let us agree on that particular thing that will bring to our people freedom, justice, and equality, equal chance as human beings on this planet Earth. On some of it that we can call on for the 22 million of our people who are now becoming overcrowded and squeezed out by the ever-increasing population of both white and black in America. And with the white only, planning and building and reserving and storing up, manufacturing all that we yet our need, making us a subject and a prison to accept what they produce and prepare for us, or we suffer the consequence. We must begin to think in terms of doing something for self, lest we be left stranded over the narrow, undependable bridge over the kingdom that we know that will not support our crossings. Let us remember that with all of our trying to think in terms, get the confidence of the people behind them, and incline to get the people to believe in them, that they will be better next year than they was last year. And the people trying to put them to think that they can produce a better leader, our ruler. This concerns independent nations. This concerns people whose people and governments and countries is in jeopardy against the enemies of other countries and people. We are a people that has been offered freedom from servitude slavery. We don't come in that category. We are a people looking for a home. We are a people looking for justice, freedom, equality with other human beings. We are a people who want an equal chance to go for self. This is what we should be doing. I warn you that the kind of choice that you are trying to get behind just for civil rights, just for a job, equal employment, just for a chance to associate with as equal members of the same society of the American white citizens. This is the wrong kind of thing that you should be digging and fighting for. You should be fighting to get on the road to self, not on the road that will lead you into the bondage or subject due to the will and rule of another, but to yourself and under your own rulership, as other nations has done, who did not number not so near as many as you. You are 4 times as many as Ghana in population. But yet you do not want to give up being a servant or running all over the country seeking a job that has been created by the white man, and want to force him to give you equal employment in that employment which he has produced for his people. Let us get away from that before he turns and recognize these facts and force us to go for self. I think you should remember the speech that I made in Chicago of July 1962 at the McCormick Place, which was based upon what the Muslim wants, which means my followers and myself. None of this have you given much attention to, but have ever since been laying around the gate of the white man begging for him to care for you, begging him to recognize you as an equal citizen with him in America, which cannot be done sincerely for you. The government is white. The ruler of the land is white. The country is owned by whites, not by you. Right there, we cannot declare ourselves equal. We are an equal human being, maybe, and superior being if we were stripped of the spoiling and robbings that our fathers and ourselves have received from the white race. Let us go back to our original self in history beyond 6,000 years ago, and we will quickly agree that black is superior. Not inferior, but superior. It is the father of the races of the earth. It is the first and the last. This is now coming to a showdown. You must know these things. There was nothing wrong that you could point out against that speech of what the Muslim wants, and it appears every 2 weeks or bi-weekly in our newspaper, the Muhammad Speak, on the last page. Let's take a glimpse at some of what the Muslim wants. In this few minutes talk, which is a question asked most frequently by both white and black. The answer to this question, I shall state as simple as possible, as I said on the 10th of July, 1962. We want freedom. We want a full and complete freedom, which we have not had. We want justice, equal justice, under the law of justice of the land. And this should be given to us regardless of creed or color or class. But this has been denied us for 400 years. We want an equal opportunity. We want equal membership in the best civilized society of the earth. I don't mean that we should seek such membership until we are worthy, qualified for such membership. That we are doing right here in America. Under the teaching that I'm giving, I'm making my people equal in any society of the nation of the world. You will soon come to know, if you don't know it. Fourth, in the paragraph of the program mentioned on the last page of our Muhammad Speak paper, we want our people in America whose parents or grandparents were descendants from slavery to be allowed to establish a separate state or territory of their own, which should be given like this. If we cannot, and which it is laid further on down, we cannot get along with the white citizens of America in peace. We would like that they help us to get started for our own self and our own poor, underprivileged people on some of this earth here in the Western Hemisphere that they are on and is the ruler over. To ourselves, where there will be no friction between the black and the white, where there will not be any burdens upon the white America on whether or not we believe as they believe or not religiously. That this could be easily done, help us to get started and help us and are in that which we have not and have not produced for the next 20 or 25 years. until we are able to provide the necessity of our own people here in the Western Hemisphere. We don't see why you disagree with us, but you are absolutely solid. Some speak against it and say separation won't solve the problem. I don't think that trying to live with the people 400 years and continue disagreeing with each other on whether or not they should treat us as human beings or give us equal justice with them will solve the problem. I thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Messenger Elijah Muhammad. You have just heard the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Messenger of Allah and Truth to the American so-called Negroes, speaking to us from Phoenix, Arizona. Tune in next week at the same hour to hear the National Radio Edition of Mr. Muhammad Speaks.